Coming up tonight, 2 wrong address incidents end in gunfire, what the communities affected are dealing with. Plus, Dominion and Fox News have settled their defamation trial. The details on the last-minute deal.
Then graduation is just around the corner. How your peers can help you capture those special moments, plus a look at your plastic weather, entertainment, and sports tonight on PS News. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Jorge Cabrera.
And I'm Benny Nazai. Here's our top story tonight. We are learning more about the 20-year-old woman shot and killed when her friend accidentally turned into the wrong driveway in Hebron, New York. Kaylin Gillis died on Saturday. She was a passenger in a vehicle that drove into Kevin Monahan's driveway. Police say he fired 2 shots from his porch, and one of the bullets struck the vehicle and killed Gillis. Her former high school cheerleading coach, Charlene Deming, told CNN Gillis was a sweet girl with a kind heart. Deming posted the news of Gillis's death on the team's Facebook page and wrote, quote, "Our hearts are broken." Now Monahan is currently jailed and is awaiting a bail hearing.
The 84-year-old homewrecker facing felony charges for shooting a black teenager has been released on bond. Kansas City authorities say Andrew Lester turned himself in on Tuesday. Investigators say Lester's opened fire on the 16-year-old Ralph Yarl, who rang his doorbell the night of April 13th. Lester was initially arrested but was released less than 2 hours later. Yarl, who was recovering from gunshot wounds, said he went to the wrong house by mistake to pick up his younger brothers. Bail was set at $200,000, and Lester is prohibited from possessing weapons of any type. Lester's cell phone is subject to monitoring, but it's not clear yet when he will appear in court for his initial hearing. The shooting has sparked outrage and protesters in the community, including the suspect's house being targeted with eggs and graffiti.
We switch gears to the high-stakes defamation trial between Dominion Voting Systems and Fox News. It reached a last-second settlement Tuesday afternoon. Delaware Superior Court Judge Eric Davis told the jury, quote, "The parties have resolved their case," and the settlement was apparently brokered while the trial was on the brink of opening, statements in Wilmington, Delaware. After the jury was sworn in on Tuesday, an unexplained hours-long delay paused proceedings in court, triggering speculation about a settlement. The last-minute deal means that the case is effectively over and it will not proceed to trial. As a result, top Fox executives and on-air talent will not have to testify about alleged lies the network promoted on election fraud. Dominion settled for $787 million, a little less than half of what the $1.6 billion in damages that Dominion had been seeking.
A terrifying scene in New York City on Tuesday. A parking garage partially collapsed in Lower Manhattan. The collapse killed at least 1 person and injured a handful of other people. The NYPD and New York firefighters helped search for victims, but first responders left the building when engineers determined the parking garage was unstable. Police and firefighters used robots and a drone to search through the debris. They say everyone in the garage is believed accounted for. The NYC Department of Buildings say the parking garage has 6 open violations, 3 of which are classified as hazardous. An investigation continues into the cause of the collapse. With graduation rapidly approaching, seniors at SUNY Plattsburgh faced with the challenge outside of the classroom. PS News' Jeff Koff has more on what some students are doing to help.
Let's come here to Hawkins Hall to commemorate the occasion. But without an official option for photos from the university, students have stepped up to offer photography services to their peers.
Between classes and job hunting, graduating seniors have plenty to figure out. But at SUNY Plattsburgh, getting graduation photos is an extra issue for students to worry about.
My mom, who has been so excited for me to graduate, has been constantly reminding me about getting these grad photos done, but I keep telling her that the school doesn't hire a professional photography company. They don't offer services.
For many Cardinals, the only way they can afford graduation photos is by relying on their peers.
It's a very inexpensive experience compared to that of what bigger organizations and bigger agencies typically offer.
It's just about making sure that I can meet students where they're at. Realistically, we're all college students. So much of what I want to do is be accessible to the students.
The relationship not only helps the student, but the photographer as well.
Because the school does not offer, explicit graduation photos and photo services, I know many other students on campus seek to find opportunity in that.
A lot of the people that I have as clients are actually my friends, and it's really great to be able to help them and help myself too, because they're like, yes, use this for your portfolio, use this to spread it and share it because your work is so great. So I love building those connections with people.
But even when building their portfolio, the student photographers understand the importance of their work.
College is so important to a lot of people, right? It's this huge, momentous, joyous moment for people. So it's important that they have memories and ways to go back to those memories. So what I want to do is make sure that I'm filling the gap for a market that is clearly there but not being catered to.
Although the university doesn't offer any official services for students to get graduation photos, it's the students who are offering the alternative that not only helps themselves, but their peers as well. In Plattsburgh, Jeff Koff, PS News.
To celebrate Earth Day, the city of Plattsburgh is coordinating a community-wide cleanup day on Saturday, April 22nd. Trash bags, gloves, and organic waste bags will be available at City Hall and Town Hall from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Cleanup participants can drop off their trash at City Hall, Town Hall, Melissa Pinfield Park, City Beach, and Peter Bumlin Park. An ice cream exchange will be available to green up participants. Mr. Dingeling will be handing out free ice cream to those who drop off their bag trash to a designated location while supplies last. The Plattsburgh Climate Task Force will host an open mic and activities for kids at Trinity Park starting at 12 p.m. Get outside in your neighborhood, local park, downtown, district, or city beach to help save the environment.
Talk about an incentive, the ice cream man coming if you clean up the earth. Love to hear that. Well, SUNY Plattsburgh, along with a slew of other on-campus groups, will be co-hosting a presentation titled Kisenisaks. I'm Looking for a Name Thursday, April 20th at 7 p.m. in Hawkins Hall. Emily Kisenisaks will present a story about Mohawk women's story of survival while being forced to live in a residential school. The presentation will be followed by a Q&A at 8 p.m.
The Adirondack Center for Writing, a nonprofit organization, is hosting an upcoming public workshop at SUNY Plattsburgh. This is one of the several events that the center will host this year. Executive Director Natalie stated that the theme is storytelling for a scene of place. The workshop will give participants an introduction to the art of storytelling with the goal of drafting and sharing stories. It will take place April 29th in Ausable Hall at room 123 from 1 to 5 p.m. with registration currently open for the Adirondack Center for Writing websites. After the break, a look at your Plattsburgh weather and entertainment news. Stay with us.
The Student Association stands by their motto of students servicing students. They provide funding for student-run clubs and organizations. Also, activities for students to participate in on campus. In addition, they also provide academic and diversity resources as well as the campus shuttle. Student Association, the pulse of Plattsburgh.
Warp Radio runs on Charter Channel 194, Campus Channel 10 here on campus. It gives Plattsburgh students an opportunity to be a radio DJ and see if that's something they have interest in for a future career path. You're listening to WARP, Charter Channel 194, Campus Channel 10, Plattsburgh, New York.
Welcome back. I'm meteorologist Jamie Goodrow, and here's a look at our Plattsburgh weather today. So starting off over here in St. Albans City, we have a 40. Moving down south a little bit in Williston, it's going to be 43. a little warmer. Pretty consistent, not too different over here in Plattsburgh, 41. Might want to grab a sweatshirt. Over in Stable Forks, it's going to be a little colder, 39. Getting a little colder, but pretty consistent overall with 36, 336s in Owl's Head, Dannemora, and Vermontville. So tomorrow, 52 degrees. Friday, we have a nice 65 degrees. Might want to grab your nice t-shirt then. 63, it's going to be cloudy, but still not any worse. 54 on Monday, 54 on Sunday, and 50 on Monday. Might want to grab an umbrella. And that's your weather for this week.
Well, nice way to close out the work week on Friday. Thank you, Jamie. But let's peel away from weather to this next story. It might seem bananas, but the third Wednesday in April is always National Banana Day. That's right. Of course, the best way to celebrate is to eat one. Now, bananas are one of the oldest cultivated fruits in the world and one of the most popular. More than 100 billion are produced and circulated around the world each year. And bananas are normally peeled and eaten raw, but they are also pretty universal. Some people add them to a peanut butter sandwich, and bananas can also be baked into muffins, pies, breads, cakes, and more. Either way, consider adding them to your diet. You want to know why? Because bananas are a good source of vitamins, carbohydrates, amino acids, and fats.
I'm not personally a fan of bananas, but I'll eat one just because.
These are my favorite fruit. I definitely recommend getting into them. They're great.
I might have it in a milkshake.
There you go.
Just raw.
It's the holiday. Why not?
Might as well. So our next story, Wednesday, is the somber 28th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing. On April 19, 1995, a rental truck filled with explosives and detonated outside of the Alfred P. Murray Federal Building. It killed 168 people, including 19 children, and injured several hundred more people. 2 former U.S. Army soldiers, Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols, were convicted of the attack. They were associated with the extreme right-wing and militant Patriot movement, which rejects the legitimacy of the federal government and law enforcement. The attack was viewed by them as retribution for the deadly federal raid on the Waco compound of David Koresh and the Branch Davises on the same date 2 years before. McVeigh was convicted and executed by lethal injection in 2001. Nichols was also convicted and is serving the rest of his life in prison in a federal super maximum security prison. A remembrance ceremony is being held Wednesday at Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum. 168 seconds of silence will be observed, 1 second for each person who lost their life. Now, let's take a look at what's going on in entertainment with Cole Kajajian.
Thank you very much, Jorge. Now, Hollywood is facing a real-life drama as the movie and television industry is staring at a possible writers' strike. Members of the Writers Guild of America voted overwhelmingly to strike when their contract expires on May 1st. The WGA has more than 11,000 members. The union is seeking more pay and better health and pension benefits. The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers says it is trying to work out a fair contract and avoid a strike. The WGA previously went on strike in 2007. The walkout lasted 100 days and forced most of Hollywood to shut down production. Production of the Alec Baldwin movie Rust is set to resume Thursday in Montana. That's according to the studio behind the film. In 2021, cinematographer Halyna Hutchins was killed in a prop gun shooting on the film's New Mexico set. The movie is to be completed as part of a settlement agreement between parties involved. Moving forward, Baldwin and armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed are facing involuntary manslaughter charges. Baldwin has pleaded not guilty. An attorney for Gutierrez Reed has said she will also plead not guilty. Baldwin and director Joel Souza, who was shot and injured in the shooting, are expected to return to finish the project, according to Rust Movie Productions. Moving on, we are learning more details about how singer Aaron Carter died. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner released the 34-year-old pop star's cause of death. The medical examiner determined Carter died from drowning and from the effects of alprazolam and difluoroethane, also known as DFE. Alprazolam is the generic form of the anxiety medicine Xanax, while DFE is a chemical compound found in refrigerants and aerosol sprays. The street term for getting high off aerosol sprays is huffing. Carter was found unresponsive in a bathtub at his home in Lancaster, California, back on November 5th of last year. The singer was best known for the songs he released as child star, like I Want Candy and Crush on You. He was also known for his television roles in shows including the reality series House of Carters. Netflix delivered disappointing results Tuesday. The streaming giant increased its subscriber base by 1.75 million customers in the first quarter. That's up nearly 5% from a year ago. But it still falls far below the 3 million new subscribers analysts predicted. The company said Tuesday it's delaying a planned crackdown on password sharing until the second quarter. That's expected to lead to a drop in membership growth and revenue, which Netflix hopes will be temporary. Netflix also made headlines Sunday for botching a live stream of the Love is Blind reunion. That show had to be taped and streamed later. And that's all for entertainment tonight. I'm Cole Kajagian. Just ahead, a look at the worldwide news of sports with Jonah Baker-Flora. Stay with us.
I'm the treasurer of Pinky Swear Pack, and we are a cancer foundation on campus, and we help families and children who are struggling with cancer. We help with like the hidden fees such as like mortgages, groceries, and here we focus on making cards and having fundraisers, and we also like to have de-stressing events. We also have an Instagram, which is PSU_pack.
Back to you. Welcome back with your PS Sports Update. I'm Jonah Baker-Flora. Argentina's justice system seeks to determine whether medical malpractice took place in death in the legendary footballer Diego Maradona. An appeals court confirmed Tuesday that the 8 health workers charged with homicide will go to trial. Maradona died at age 60 from a heart failure in November 2020. In the same month, he underwent successful surgery for a subdural hematoma, and more commonly known as a blood clot in the brain. All right, let's go to football. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin could be back playing in the field soon. Tuesday, the team general's manager says Hamlin has been cleared to resume football activities. On January 2nd, the 25-year-old went to cardiac arrest after making a tackle in the game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Doctors and trainers administered CPR and used a defibrillator in the field to resuscitate Hamilton before he was taken out of the stadium in an ambulance. The Bills say 3 separate specialists have all agreed that Hamlin can resume full activities and has been participating voluntarily in off-season workouts this week. Bills head coach Sean McDermott says that the team is happy that Hamlin is back. I'm with your PS Sports Update. I'm Jonah Baker-Flora, and back with the desk with Benny and Jorge.
Thank you, Jonah. But wow, what a miracle, honestly. I remember watching it live when, Damar Hamlin had the cardiac arrest. And, of course, so much of the credit has to go to the medical staff in Cincinnati. But the fact that he could very well play football again, incredible, it's honestly. Miracle, man. It really is. God bless him. And whatever he does in life, I know he's going to do incredible.
For sure. Best of luck to him.
Of course. Well, that's all the time that we've got for this edition of PS News. Thank you so much for joining us.
To stay up to date, follow @PlattsburghStateTV on social media. media. I'm Jorge Cabrera.
And I'm Benny Nazai. Stay tuned for the premiere of Ill at Ease, Episode 2. It's a good one, folks, right here in just a few moments. But once again, thank you for joining us, and have a great night, Plattsburgh.